What's up, people? I am Toward Prime 217, your online hotspot where you find out what's hot and what's not. It's time for another episode of Toward Talks About, the first in a long while. Okay, I've decided that Toward Talks About should be my discussion podcast series, which means I'm going to be using very few next to no images apart from one, sort of like I've been doing with the Toward Theorizes videos. For now is going to be the exception, as I've got multiple topics to tackle. And of course, as you might expect, they are all pony related. Because, ponies. Okay. Anyway. So, obviously, the first thing to talk about is the new trailer. I already released a video on my reaction to it. My Little Pony Season 5 trailer. But I didn't really say a whole lot. I just sort of went completely crazy. But hey, Cabin Fever does that to you. Okay, so there's been a lot of talk and discussion, and it's only been like 2 days since the trailer was released. If what I said in my video was any indication, I was one of the first to react to the trailer, but unfortunately, if you read my description, which I don't think anybody reads my descriptions, come on, I work hard in those descriptions. They're a lot of fun to write. They're very funny. Give me some credit. But anyway, I couldn't upload the video in time before it was my brother's turn to use the computer, so I just waited till the next day. And that's why my video was late to upload. Oh well. Anyway. So, my personal viewpoints? Well, first of all, people have been commenting on my Toward Theorizes Equilibrium video. Not the official name, but that's what I've decided to call it. Just a sort of referential nickname. People have been telling me about... I've been referencing this list of episodes released like way back in September, which I did not know about until like just a few days ago. My thoughts are, I don't think the list is real. I think there are aspects of it that are real, or at the very least, coincidentally, they line up with what is in the show. I mean, the season. But I don't think it's legit. Originally, I said that the reason they are only giving us that one animatic to the premiere was because, and they were hiding everything else, is because it would be what was in the episode would be essentially very crucial to the rest of the season. However, since I released that video, more information has been released. I even did an entire theories video on this whole potential Rainbow Ruby character. And a lot of interesting possibilities in that one. Yeah. So there is going to be an episode about Twilight learning to cope with her library now being destroyed. There is going to be an episode where we see Pinkie Pie's family all together in present time. There's supposed to be an episode of the Background Ponies. That's supposed to be the 100th episode, but we'll get to that later. And there's an episode where Luna has a nightmare, and I might be forgetting another one. I'm not really sure. Okay, anyway, as for the trailer, what I could gather from it is that this might be the most intriguing season premiere I've ever seen. Season 4 definitely had the best finale, but in terms of premieres, I think Season 2 has it best. Although that's only because of John Delancey. Okay, some of you might be asking why I think the list is fake. Well, as I've already said, the 100th episode is supposed to be about the Background Ponies, yet on the list it states that the 100th episode, episode 6 of Season 5, takes place in Appaloosa, which that doesn't seem quite right. Also, we are hinted at a lot of brand new locations we're supposed to visit in Season 5, and yet the episode descriptions basically list like only 3 new locations, and I think one of them is actually a place we've already been to. some swamp or bog or something that we saw at the end of Some Pony to Watch Over Me. Okay. What else? Oh, also, spoiler alert if you don't want the list to be spoiled for you, even though it's probably not part of the series anyway. Apparently, the villain plot of the beginning of the season has nothing to do with the villain plot of the end of the season. Although I thought that was very interesting. The way the writer of the list tried to make it all set up for the villain at the end, like how it's a falling star that's being built up mid-season to the end of the season. That's a clever build-up, and I hope Season 5 does do something like that. Although it's completely disconnected from the premiere, which doesn't quite set as right to me. I mean, yes, it's standard show formula, but something about it just doesn't set right. And I do find it quite interesting that apparently the villain on the list at the finale is, as the name, Sirius, which probably means he's going to be like a Stardog or something. And for my money, you know what? It's about time an animated dog is a villain. Finally, stop making the cats the bad guys. What did the cats ever do to you apart from do something nasty in your shoe and scratch your furniture? I mean, seriously. But I digress. That's totally off the point. Also on the list, there's a bicentennial episode that does not take place in the 100th episode, which is weird. So anyway, I don't think the list is fake. I mean, parts of it look legit. I mean, it certainly feels legit to an extent, but something about it just doesn't feel right. I can't really explain what, it just doesn't really feel right. Okay, back to the trailer. At first I thought that maybe these ponies who are grinning in this all creepy way actually weren't like in my original theory, that they aren't being controlled or anything, that they're doing it willingly, and it's just more of a culture movement gone horribly wrong. But recent analysis on Equestria Daily reveals that no, apparently they are under some influential control, or maybe they're just, well, maybe they're being mind controlled, or maybe they're under increased fear from this obviously not mind-controlled or heavily influenced pony who has the same coloration as Aria Blaze, which I thought was really, really weird. Why would you have an Earth pony Aria like right after the movie, and apparently there's this whole equals thing going on? There's also the thing about the cutie marks being stolen and hidden away, and there's this cool staff with a staff head that looks like an equal sign, and I was totally calling it on the whole, the town is in the form of an equal sign thing. I totally called that. I mean, it was just too obvious not to be seen, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Called it! Okay, okay, apparently the equal ponies will have a musical number about how they're all equal and stuff. Should be fun, right? Yeah. And as Tommy Oliver pointed out, they all have the same basic hairstyles. And if you will notice from the picture in front of you, what you can see of the paused video is that there is an overbalance here. I mean, not only are the ponies equal citizens, they're also arranged equally. Like, on one side you have a guy, a girl, then a guy, and on the other side you have the exact same pattern mirrored. And while there is a unicorn at the front of one end and an Earth pony on the other end, there is an Earth pony behind the unicorn on the left, but a unicorn behind the Earth pony on the right. So there's like a total sense of balance going on here. This isn't just equal rights. This is pure equality, which is coming very, very, almost frighteningly close to what I theorized. And this makes this Aria Blaze wannabe all the more scarier. People are calling her Mayor Marks, by the way. I'm trying to think of a good fusion name between Mayor Marks and Arya Blaze. Maybe Mayor Blaze? Okay, we'll go with that. Mayor Blaze for now. Because I can't think of a better name. Also, got new pics of the crystal map, which I thought was very cool. You can totally see new locations and stuff here. People are speculating that this thing off to the right is the Griffin Kingdom, and that'd be really cool. I really want to see where the Griffins live. And I actually am kind of wondering why they went with an Equestria Girls spin-off and not a Griffin spin-off. I mean, that's what everyone wants, right? I mean, everyone wants a Griffin spin-off. Nobody wants a teenage high school drama. We want Griffins! Come on! Expand the fantasy! I digress. Also, at the bottom here, there is this mountain thing with a huge cow skull at the top. If this thing is actually reference to scale, but still exact detail, what is this gigantic cow skull? How did it get there? And is it from a living thing? I mean, my gosh, that had to be from the biggest creature in history. Maybe that's a dragon skull. Okay, yeah, that's a dragon skull. Okay, I just thought of something. If this skull down here is from a dragon, that had to be the single biggest dragon in equestrian history. I mean, by gosh, that's huge! That's huge! Are you seeing that? That's huge! And who slew that dragon? And why are they using this grotesque thing to deck their mountain? Or I don't know. I don't know. Too much thinking. Brain hurts. Okay. Also, something I noticed, next to Skull Mountain, as I'm calling it, there's a pathway with palm trees lining it. So we might actually get a tropical setting we'll go to some point in the season. There's in the top left corner, just beyond Cloudsdale, there appears to be a very wintry, frosty setting. That doesn't look like the Crystal Empire. I think the Crystal Empire is located more to the uppers, off to the right. So we might actually be getting a setting of a Winter Frost, and we might even meet a modernized incarnation of King Charlatan, the Emperor Penguin from the G1 series, which could be cool. I mean, we could be having Gilbert Gottfried voicing a giant Emperor Penguin with ice powers. That could be interesting. I don't know. Maybe not if you're not a fan of Gottfried, but whatever. And, something else I forgot to point out. Just to the top left of Skull Mountain down here, there's this formation that's kind of weird. It's probably just regular mountains and all, but I can't help noticing that these two yellow things here look like eyes and that they're staring at something. Like that whole bit of mountain between these two eyes, the nose, like some really weird face. I know I'm just seeing things that's probably just a design goof or something, but I can't help thinking that that's a face. It's not a creepy face, it's just a weird face. Also, something else I forgot to note that I really didn't think of noting before. There is a rainbow emitting from Canterlot to Ponyville. Not really sure why. No, I'm not really sure why. I'll leave you guys to guess. But finally, something I really want to talk about is what's next to this mountain face thing that I just pointed out a few seconds ago. 30 seconds ago? I don't know. Is this landmass just off to the bottom right? I mean, bottom left, sorry, of Equestria. Look at those trees. Okay, I'm no expert in botany, and I haven't seen that many places in the grand scheme of my life. Heck, in all of my life, I've never even left the country. I've never even left America. But those look a lot like African trees, the kinds of trees you see in Africa. Which means, while on the one end we have the Griffin Kingdom in the upper right, on the bottom left we have the Zebra Kingdom, which means we're finally gonna get to see the place where Zecora lives. Oh, excuse me. And that would be just awesome. I really want some more zebras. I mean, I really like the zebras. Like, Zecora is one of my favorite side characters. I just love Zecora's accent and the way she always talks and rhymes and stuff. And I want to see if other zebras are like that. Maybe discover like what Zecora's family is like and all that stuff. You know, cool stuff like that. So yeah, this map has me really excited. We got a bunch of cool new locations that we are almost certain to visit. And potentially we're going to the Zebra Kingdom. I mean, that's just boss! Okay, and on the topic of the episode itself, I'm not sure. According to the trailer analysis, there is a lot of scenes that take place in a basement, and they were probably placed in the trailer to confuse the viewers with the scenes in the cave. I'm not sure what happens in the basement, but I think the ponies finally discover the secret, which leads them to the cave and stuff. Also, apparently, pretty much all the main six, as near as I can tell, although we've only seen evidence of this happening to Twilight, Rarity, and Rainbow Dash, they all get their cutie marks switched with equal signs. So this means that they're in some form of immediate danger. This is sort of like what Discord did back in his debut episode. So that could be kind of cool. We're sort of stepping back to basics. Maybe Season 5 will be the new Season 2. I don't know. I kind of noticed that Season 4 was kind of experimental, sort of like Season 1 was, but Season 4 was experimental in the next step. Like the writers were saying, okay, we've gotten this far, let's see how much farther we can go, and they just like went places. You know, the superhero episode, a Scooby-Doo episode, and an episode guest starring Weird Al. Like all episodes I really liked. Yeah, Season 4 pushed itself. But season 2 was pretty good. I mean, of the original 3 seasons, it's my favorite season. And it certainly did some memorable stuff, like introducing Discord and Chrysalis. Although it's sort of dulled in the middle. Sort of dulled in the middle. And that's my only real fear for Season 5, is that it might dull out in the middle. We won't have as many good or fun episodes, or experimental episodes as Season 4. But with the whole new map thing, that might be an inaccurate fear. I don't know. But anyway, so the Season 5 trailer has me hyped. The premiere, even if the rest of the season isn't pretty great, the premiere looks to be awesome. What I also don't like is that Hasbro continues to tease us. And they won't give us the official air date. I'm really wondering why. Why, Hasbro? Why do you continue to mock us? Why do you continue to mock me? Oh boy. I just don't get that. I mean, this trailer has me pants-wettingly excited, and then it says Spring 2015. Ugh. Good gravy. Also, something about this new trailer narrator. I think it's supposed to build up tension like some sort of movie or anything. I don't think it'll be back for later later previews throughout the rest of the series. He might be used again as build-up for Season 6. I don't know. Although some have speculated that it's actually the voice of Starswirl the Bearded. I think that's inaccurate. I don't think Starswirl has any episodes in this season. But if he does get any episodes in Season 6, he should be voiced by David Jason. Why? Watch The Color of Magic, and you'll see why. Just watch The Color of Magic, then read the comic arc Reflections, and you'll see exactly why David Jason is the perfect voice for Starswirl the Bearded. If he gets an episode, and only if. Pardon me, I've been feeling a little sick lately. Something else I want to briefly touch upon is that apparently a celebrity, Lena Hall, is going to be guest starring on an episode and singing in an episode. I've kind of heard of Lena Hall, but I don't really know who she is, so I'll look it up later. I also don't know what role she'll have in an episode. Oh, that's another thing about the list and why I think it's fake. I couldn't find anything to support a singing pony or anything like that. So yeah, or maybe Lena Hall doesn't play a pony. Maybe she plays a griffin. Wait, wouldn't that be interesting? Okay. Thinky, inky, blinky. Do I have anything more to say? Oh, there was a cool angle shot of the Friendship Express. Oh yes, okay. You know what? I don't mind this pony trope at all, but there's probably going to be episode exposition on the Friendship Express. You know, I don't mind that at all. I like that. I mean, what else are you going to do on a train? Seriously. Whatever. Anything more to talk about? I'm not really sure. Nope. I guess that's it. For the trailer, anyway. Shoot. I had an image here to go off of. No, that's not it. Doggone it. I really should sort through these things. I know it's here somewhere. Ah! Okay. Okay, now on to the supposed 100th episode. Okay, not supposed. The 100th episode. Okay, like just a few hours ago on EQD, they released a blurb, apparently from Hasbro.com, about the 100th episode, and it being about Cutie Mark Magic. Okay, I'm a little on the fence about this idea. Mostly because it was originally stated that that the 100th was gonna be about background ponies and not cutie marks. Then again, I have to acknowledge that cutie marks are older than the background ponies. I mean, they've been around since G1. They're as old as My Little Pony itself. They're an integral part of My Little Pony. So it makes sense that cutie marks are definitely special enough to warrant an episode about them in the 100th episode. But still, I don't really know how to take this. Meanwhile, as for the designs, on the image seen on EQD, they're kind of plain. I think the whole thing about having the cutie marks around their eyes is cool, and like cutie marks lining their legs and stuff, but that's kind of it, and that seems kind of plain. I'm not really sure where they're going with this, but it doesn't seem as interesting as the Rainbow Power designs. And unlike most people, I actually really like the Rainbow Power designs. Do I have my issues with them? Yes, I do. Let's make that clear. But I like them. I think they work. I think they serve their purpose. Could they be improved? Absolutely. But they're fine. They're fine. They're nothing to wet your pants over. And no, they don't scream, "Buy our hideous toys." That's what Equestria Girl screams. I mean, seriously. But we'll get to that later. So, if Cutie Mark Magic is the 100th episode, we potentially might be looking at the history of cutie marks. I mean, that would be really interesting. An entire episode devoted to explaining the history of these magical butt tattoos. Probably the CMC will be hugely involved, and will a Cutie Mark Crusader get her cutie mark this season? I I don't know, probably not. I think the writers are intentionally holding off on that for a reason. There's probably a very good story reason for it. Yeah, I kind of hoped I'd have a little more to talk about on this, but I don't really. So that's basically it. Don't know where they're going with the whole cutie mark redesign or stuff. The designs are kind of plain, but they could go somewhere interesting with this. I have no idea. Moving on. Darn it. Okay, here we go. And now let's talk about the friendship games. Yes, people have been abuzz with this news lately. My Little Pony Equestria Girls 3 Friendship Games. Okay, as you may all know, I'm not a very big EG fan. Like, at all. I wasn't a fan of the idea when I first heard about it long before I got into the ponies. When I first heard about it, I thought My Little Pony was selling itself out. When I got into ponies, like months later, like many months later, I thought, I was like, wow, this is stupid. And then I actually watched the movie and I was like, wow, that was stupid. And I've been mulling over the entire aspect of this part of the franchise ever since, and I'm like, nah. I saw Rainbow Rocks, and it was, to some extent, to its credit, better than the first one, but I couldn't really figure out why it just didn't seem to be that much better. I mean, I still didn't like it. There were a lot of bits of it I didn't like. I'm not really sure. I wasn't really sure why for a while. But I guess it just sort of clicked to me. Nah, that's not it. No, never mind. Okay, what do I think of friendship games? Well, first of all, my initial thought was, you are seriously attempting to rip off the Hunger Games. You're seriously attempting to rip off the Hunger Games. I actually don't know how to feel about that. On the one hand, The Hunger Games was a pretty good book series up until the second half of Mockingjay, and by that point, by the end of the book, I absolutely despise Mockingjay. And I haven't seen the movies themselves, so I can't really say on the whole thing about ripoff. I'm not really sure what to think about it. On the other hand, Equestria Girls has a habit of sort of playing things down so they can cover it with bright colors and glitter. Yeah. So, as near as I can figure from information that's been released, there's going to be archery, roller derbies, and motocross. Which sounds exciting, but then again, so does heavy metal rock music. And I was completely underwhelmed by Rainbow Rocks in terms of music. You know what? I think that might actually be my biggest problem with Equestria Girls. It's just underwhelming. There is literally, and there is like, seriously, an entire Dragon's treasure trove of opportunities and stuff to play and build on. You could do something with this. You could do a dozen things with this. They just don't. They just don't. They don't do anything with it. They don't really do a whole lot with it. I mean, yes, Rainbow Rocks did some more things with it than the first movie did, but oh boy. Not enough. Not enough. I don't know. Maybe the Bayverse Transformers have spoiled me with all sorts of goodies and stuff. Maybe Captain America the Winter Soldier spoiled me with all those Marvel references and cameos and setups for future movies. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's just, well, look at the image. Okay, apparently Canterlot High is supposed to go against some other school with the shadow bolts and well, it's in a school-to-school competition, sort of like the Triwizard Tournament or some other thing like that. And they're supposed to compete and stuff. Oh boy. I mean, look at that image. Do they look sports-worthy to you, or do they look like they're trying to market toys? So, my initial reaction to this, my honest initial reaction was, they do kind of look cool, but that's just on the surface. I mean, when you get down to it, when I really start to think about what I'm looking at, I kind of go, really? Seriously? That's what they did? I mean, yes, they do a better job here with the colors. The colors do look cooler, but on the one hand, they're starting to look like Monster High colors, and that makes me just want to back away a few miles. I'm not, just so you know, trying to be absurdly negative here. I don't know. Well, I just talked about the trailer and the whole possibilities for Season 5, and that got me really excited. I mean, they're actually doing something with this. But Friendship Games is like, really? You're going there? And I don't know. It's just something about this doesn't feel right, and it's not the Monster High stuff, though that does bother me to a great extent. Also, something I noticed is that Applejack and Rarity are missing from the cast. And, on the one end, we have Flutters, Rainbow, Pinky, Shimmer. And on the other end, we have Twilight and these 3 new characters who I've never seen before. Although, I will say one of them looks like Cloud Chaser. I think it's entirely coincidental. I think these villains might be the Shadow Bolts. Okay. They are the Shadow Bolts. Yeah, forget those Nightmare Moon twisted versions of the Wonderbolts. We're getting these things here that actually look like they belong as much on the other side as vice versa. I don't get it. And I have to say this. What is Rainbow Dash wearing? I mean, seriously! Oh, boy. Let me guess. Rarity got her hands on the costume designs again. Right? Didn't she? Did she? Oh yes, comment on the, Rain Booms. Stupid name. Costume designs. They hurt my eyes. They hurt my eyes. They are an insult to my vision. My literal vision, not my psychological passion vision. They hurt my eyes. These outfits don't hurt my eyes nearly as much, but I'll have to question it. Also, Fluttershy with a bow. That could be interesting, except they prettified the bow up so it looks like it's straight out of Lego Friends. You've basically taken away all interesting potential. And then there's Twilight with a bow, and the arrow is golden and heart-shaped. Is she trying to be the Green Arrow's villain Cupid? You know, Arrow already did a Cupid episode, and that was done pretty well. But this, I don't know what to think about it. Oh, apparently Flash Sentry is getting a doll. On the one hand, took them long enough. On the other hand, human Flash Sentry should die. Also, something else I want to establish. I don't hate Pony Flash. Pony Flash is perfectly fine as he is, and I think more investment should be put on him. Human Flash, on the other hand, should get run over with a truck. As a matter of fact, if they're going to do a Transformers crossover with this universe, then have Optimus Prime come in, roll over Flash Sentry a few times, and then have the plot move on as if Flash Sentry was never there to begin with. That would be awesome. That would be just so awesome if Flash Sentry would get run over by Optimus Prime. But I digress. Oh yeah, something else weird. This blue character on rollerblades next to Twilight apparently has stuff coming out of her helmet. That's either pony ears or something else, I can't tell. And if the other two have pony ears, then why do they have pony ears? Are they actual pony criminals who were sent there by Starscream the Bearded long ago? And are, like the Sirens, immortalized? And now they're gaining vengeance? Also, why is it once you're banished to the human verse, you're okay, something else I just noticed. Apparently, thus far, all villains of the Equestria Girls universe are female. And they're all from Equestria, thus far. And even though they should all be much older than Twilight, they have the bodies of teenagers, which they've been maintaining ever since they came through the portal. So that is another serious query. Why? That's just another weird, random, made-up rule for this movie franchise that I don't understand. There are a lot of things about the movies I don't understand. I made a whole list of queries that I don't understand concerning only the movies. Also, I read the Holiday comic, and it was boring. It was very boring. But moving on. This movie is coming out fall 2015. I say, if it interrupts the run of Season 5, I'm going to strangle somebody. Or, at the very least, Season 5 had better be over by the time this movie premieres, and Season 5 had better be 26 episodes. Or else. Again, I'm not trying to be negative. I didn't come into this expecting to hate this. As I've already said, my initial first impression of this picture right here was, actually, it looks kind of cool. It's only when I get into it that I really start to hate it. When I really start to wonder, when I really start to question things. When just... yeah... Oh boy. I really don't know. Okay, let's see. What about nerdy Twilight we saw at the end of Rainbow Rocks? Well, I'm not really sure what to think about that. On the one hand, finally it's about time, but on the other hand, I need some answers. What is she doing by herself? Why is she not with the others? Why is Celestia with the others and not with Twilight? And where is alternate Sunset Shimmer? They're still dodging that one. We still don't know where Shimmer lives. Shimmer doesn't apparently have anything to her name that isn't kept in the school. We don't know where she lives. We don't know if she has a car or not. Ugh. Nothing. Nothing about her. We don't even know where her alternate self is. This doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It's a very big question. Why would you want to dodge this? I don't know. I just don't know. Also, note, apparently the Shadow Bolts school is supposedly supposed to be looking dark and gothic, but really it just looks like the Crystal Empire. With its shiny blue stuff and its spiky towers, it looks like the Crystal Empire. Why are you trying to make it look bad? What are you trying to make it look bad? It doesn't. It looks like the place where the Princess of Love lives, for crying out loud. It actually looks a little more interesting than Canterlot High, even though Canterlot High has these huge horsehead gargoyles. don't really understand that. Oh, something else very interesting of note. Despite the fact that it appears that they're trying to stay as far away from Pony as possible in the humanverse, ignoring the bizarre physiology and coloration of the humans here, they have things like MyStable, MySpace, but Ponified. And all of their phones have little horseshoe symbols on it. And of course, there's Canterlot High, which seems to have an obsession with its horse mascot. This is really, really weird. This is just bizarre, strange. I don't know of any other way to put it. Bizarre, strange. Hoopla. Oh, one more thing. I think there's just one more thing I can add to this. Discord has already not been any part of the Equestria Girls movie franchise. At the same time, apparently, Hasbro has not allowed him to be yet. The same reason we haven't seen an origin story for Discord beyond his encounter with the princesses. He's apparently not supposed to be. Unless, of course, the writers are saving that encounter up for something. What exactly, I can't say. I'll leave it open to interpretation. But I think that's very curious. Along with a lot of other curiosities. So yeah, those are my views on friendship games. I'm probably just going to be very underwhelmed. I don't think I'm going to like it. I'm probably going to be very underwhelmed. I mean, yes, they have archery, they have roller derby, they have motocross, which I think involves motorcycles. I'll have to look that up. But that begins to the coolness factor of that begins to fall apart when you look at the bows and arrows that these characters are holding. I just noticed now that Fluttershy's arrowhead is a butterfly. And I mean, just look at it. Look at it. How can this possibly be cool? They're probably just going to be doing some sissy target practice. Now, it would be cool if you could try to fuse paintball with bows and arrows. That'd be cool. That'd be creative and sounds like a lot of fun, but I don't know. One of them has a golden heart for an arrow. The other one has a butterfly. And onto the roller derby. Look at the ones wearing roller skates. I mean, look at the roller skates. Yeah, you'd be crushed at a roller derby if you tried pulling off that. Not to mention, Manhattan has much grittier roller derbies. And put those two factors together, and when you finally come across to motocross, I'm just dreading how they're going to undermine this one. They're probably going to put Flash Sentry on a motorcycle, and it's probably going to be the most underwhelming dirt bike race ever. Also, that would mean that Flash Sentry has both a Mustang car, har 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 Hasbro, and a motorcycle. Yet he still doesn't have a personality. Joy. So yeah, to reiterate, I'm probably going to be very underwhelmed. That is about it. I think I should stop talking about this before I get a headache. Okay, is there any topic I want to talk about? Oh! We might be seeing more centaurs, demon centaurs, in a T-Rex Origin comic based on some Tony Fleece or Fleek artwork released a few months ago. I can't really say anything except apparently the king has antlers. The Horned King. How weird. Probably a pun. I don't know. And there's also this guy who looks like old Turek but with a mustache. Probably a Weiseliller or something, or maybe Turek's father, I don't know. Wish I had more to talk about than that. Do I? Drone. Groan. So anyway, yeah, that's basically it. Season 5 is coming up. I am excited. There's tons there's tons of cool stuff there. I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with this. Cutie Mark Magic could be interesting. I want to see where they go with this. Friendship games. No. My curiosity is piked, but only a little. A little. And I'm probably going to be disappointed. And the Centaur King. Wow, I really should have thought this through. Thought what I was going to talk about through a little better. Okay. Well, that's basically it for now. I hope you have enjoyed my incessant ramblings and my utter sickness. You're probably going to catch a computer virus from me now that I've coughed in the microphone so many times. Sorry about that. But anyway, that's all. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Tord Talks About. This is Tord Prime 217 signing out and reminding you to please run responsibly.
And all is not fine. Like, where is all my corruption? I need destruction to make me feel okay. Did I get lost along the way? Playing nice like they wanted me to be. No, I will not smile to make your day. I just want to cause a little entropy. You tried so hard to make a hero out of me, but there are some rules I don't obey, and I just want to cause a little entropy. Evil. You tried so hard to take the discord out of me, but I'm not generic in that way, and I just wanna cause a little entropy. Well, I've got no good intention. The fourth dimension is my own mansion. It's all messed up, I don't care, cause what fun is there in ever making sense? Did I get lost along the way? Lose my mind for a new identity? I quite enjoy ruining your day, and I just wanna cause a little entropy. You tried so hard to make a hero out of me, but there are some rules I don't obey, and I just wanna cause a little chaos and entropy. Evil entropy, entropy, entropy.
Muffins!